Hello and welcome to this short video where I'm going to quickly answer another great question that came through from one of my great connections in the lean community. The question was this: is it a good idea to put up lean signs around the workplace? And it was kind of two questions, or they kind of go together. What about labeling equipment like forklifts and things like that? Should we do these things? Well, there's a few ways of answering this, but I'm going to give you a bit of feedback on how we do it at Premier Group NZ and how some of our clients do it through Premier Business Academy, and also talk to you about other great lean companies that we've seen and probably that you've seen as well. So thinking about Toyota, they don't do this at all. If you go into their factories, and I've seen tons and tons of video footage. One day I'm going to get into one of their factories, haven't done that yet, so lucky you if you've done that. Can't wait. But videos, and you're chatting to many people who have visited their factories. Often it might just be one sign in a factory that says something like quality thinking equals quality quality products, or just something very simple. One thing which sums up the whole of the Toyota production system. Which really, if we sum it up in one word, it's quality, right? And if you've read the book Banish Sloppiness and Fall in Love with Precision by Paul Akers, you'll know what we're talking about. But to answer this, yes, you can do this stuff, and yes, we do some of this stuff at Premier Group. But the thing is, what you got to remember is the signage itself and labeling itself and things like that. Signage. Let's talk about signage. It won't change your culture, right? It's just a picture on the wall. So same with a mission, a vision, and values. Often I'll walk into a workplace, you look around and there's the vision and mission and values, which I love that, and we do it ourselves because we're all about positive reinforcement and being able to point to something on the wall and say, hey, just a reminder, are we focused on this mission? Are we focused on this? How are we acting in accordance with this core value? But most companies stop there and they don't teach and train, follow through, which are the critical things if you're going to build a great lean culture, or any culture at all, of course, but any great culture. So a picture on the wall is not good enough. You've got to get it into the hearts and minds and souls of your people. And that's what the morning meeting is for. So I've made a couple of notes here about these just some little reminders for me as we go through this video. The morning meeting, and you'll hear me say this in almost every video, is absolutely critical. It's the drumbeat, it's the rhythm, it's the training platform. It is so important. So you can have 1,000 signs in the workplace, but you could take all those signs down and you can make sure that morning meeting is working correctly, because you're reviewing the mission, the vision, the values, the 8 lean wastes, the lean principles, the 3 MUs. You're teaching and training all the time, and that's what really counts. The other thing that is very, very critical is this: develop leaders who understand the company philosophy, they understand the work, they understand everything that's going on, and they share and teach and train others. So you might be a tiny business, you might be the only leader in the business, but you'll have up and coming leaders underneath you. And then as the business grows, you need to keep developing these leaders who keep teaching and training others. It's all about the DNA of the company. So the things that I'm kind of answering this question in a roundabout way, I guess, but trying to explain as quickly as possible that it's absolutely key to have these things in place. These are far more important. And then, of course, growing people, which we talk about all the time. I'm always telling you guys that lean really is a human transformation system. It's a human development system. It is not a business tool. It's not a business tool. And if you're viewing it as a business tool, a way to increase your profits and cut your costs, then lean is going to absolutely fall over in your workplace. You might take some of the tools like 5S and practice them, and you might even practice them to a good level, but you're never going to keep moving ahead and sustain and keep a culture that keeps improving forever and ever and ever, endless improvements. You'll never create a culture like that unless you are really focused on growing people as your #1 priority. And then another thing which is really important, kind of answers this question as well, is making sure you've got a company playbook or a manual, or I don't know what you want to call it. We call it the Premier Playbook here. That's forever. It's always growing, and it contains all that important information like the mission, the vision, the values, the principles that we go by. So everyone should have one of those handy to them on their desk in a hard copy, or somewhere handy. They can always reach out to that and be reminded, or do a little bit of study each day. You might even require them to read a page of that a day to make sure they're always fresh with what's going on with your culture and how the business operates. And that's always being improved. So you never stop improving that. Again, and then the weekly all-staff meeting. Well, the goal is really to have the morning meeting and have all your team on that, and then you haven't. That means you've got. But if you're split apart, then make sure at least the morning meeting is being held in every department by department. On top of this, like we've got lots of separated workplaces and regions, so we do the morning meeting. Obviously, that's absolutely key. That is written into it's in our DNA. We could never live without that anymore. The weekly all-staff meeting is a way you can get everyone together, whether it's on Zoom if you're all split up. And there's another great place to teach and train, and it's worth a million times more than any of this. Great place to talk about those principles again, talk about the vision, and keep casting that vision over and over and over again. Because remember always that any leader in your business is the CRO, the Chief Reminding Officer. Very cheesy title, but the most important hat that any leader will wear in your business, always reminding people about why they do what they do, why your company exists, why they work here, that they're here to improve the life of the customer, and this is the mission, this is why we get out of bed in the morning, this is why quality is our focus, and we want to improve the life of our people, obviously. Cheap and cheerful, so we always say, like, if you're gonna do stuff like this, and labeling equipment and things like that, make sure you're always saying, well, I guess to turn this around the other way, we always say to people, you're an owner, so if you want to paint the forklifts pink, that's your thing, but make sure it sort of fits in with our brand guidelines. Here they are, make sure everyone's clear on that. Make sure your team is happy as well. So we've got tons of examples around our business, and it might not suit your business to do this, but it creates real ownership. You get people painting something together. It builds teamwork, camaraderie. It builds culture. It's very culture building. So, we've got some great examples here. If you ever come for a culture tour in any of our factories, you'll see areas where people have got together and done a project together where they're acting like owners. Everyone agrees that we should paint the curing room doors red or pink or blue, as long as it's in line with our branding, and it gets everyone together, and it says, well, I'm an owner, I own this place, and I'm a key part of the business. So that kind of answers lean signs. Yes, you can do them, but are they enough? No, they're not. I believe in having them up in our business. It works for us. But it's not a substitute for any of this. You can't skip any of this. And in fact, this is totally worthless, like 100% worthless without this. And then labeling equipment, yes, everything here has a label, whether it's a little printer, whether it's I'm looking around the studio here and everything's labeled. Everything has a walkaway standard. So yeah, that's your call really on how you want it. A forklift's a forklift, right? But if you've got 10 forklifts, then each one should have a unique 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or each one should have a number or a name, so that it's fun, but B, it's clear where because everything's got a home, right? We understand that through 3S or 5S, whatever you're practicing now in your business, that everything must have a home. That's absolutely critical part of lean. Everything must be standardized, and if it's not, it's always becoming standardized, and things are always getting better. Hopefully that answers that question. Thank you for watching, and please go to premierbusinessacademy.co.nz for lots of free resources. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day.